The Milwaukee Bucks got a massive update today concerning the possible trade status of Giannis Antetokounmpo. The path forward in Milwaukee is finally starting to look illuminated after a tumultuous season. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Nathan Burton, here with Bucks Digest, your number one source on YouTube for all things Bucks. Thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to dig right into it. Of course, we're going to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got some encouraging news today about his possible trade status. It looks good for Giannis to stay in Milwaukee. We also got some confirmation from teammates on Giannis's mindset at this time, and we're going to look forward at what will be John Horst's most interesting and challenging offseason as he tries to build a winning team around Giannis. But before I get into it, I just want to mention to everybody, please hit that subscribe button. You guys have been running those up for me and Nick, and we really appreciate it. So let's talk about it. The Stein line came out and said that Giannis Antetokounmpo will not be traded by the Milwaukee Bucks unless he formally asks for a trade. Now, we've kind of known this. We haven't heard anything from Giannis officially about wanting a trade, and he has come out in the past and stated, I don't think I would ever text and ask for a trade. I am not this kind of guy. They would have to kick me out. So if Giannis is not likely to ask for a trade and the Milwaukee Bucks front office has committed to not trading him unless that instance happens, then it looks like, thank God, we're entering the season with Giannis Antetokounmpo on the roster and healthy. If Giannis is on your roster and healthy, you are a contender in the NBA. It's just about what John Horst has to do now to put a squad around Giannis that can compete and get into the playoffs. And who knows, maybe we'll see Damian next year. You never know. Even if we don't, with the right chess pieces and movement, we can still build a winning team around Giannis Antetokounmpo. So the first puzzle piece we have to talk about here is, of course, Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis, it has a player option for $12.5 million. There's been some debate about whether he is going to pick up this option or seek a more lucrative contract. Bobby Portis is a sought-after asset in the NBA. He's a stretch big who can shoot the three, and he is a monster on the boards. Leaves something to be desired defensively, of course. We know this, but he is a desired asset in the NBA. I highly doubt that he's going to pick up that option when he can get paid some more money, but you never know. He, is loved in the city of Milwaukee. We know that, they call him the mayor in Milwaukee. He came out and said on a recent interview that he would love to be in Milwaukee. It's hard to leave a city where you're known as the mayor. So it's clear that Bobby Portis loves the city of Milwaukee and wants to be there, but it's just a question of what kind of money is going to come into play. We'll see what happens as we get into June. He also shed some light on Giannis's mindset right now. He said Giannis bleeds green. Bobby Portis believes that Giannis wants to be a one-team player like a Dirk Nowitzki, a Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry. He believes that that's the type of guy Giannis is. This is his city, and Giannis wants to continue to compete and win in Milwaukee. That's music to my ears, and of course, all Milwaukee Bucks fans' ears. So what needs to happen to build a team around Giannis that's going to work? The first guy that's going to have to step up, and very obviously, is Kevin Porter Jr. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. Showed flashes of being a good two-way player. We know he has great offensive upside, and he's still very young. His decision-making needs to get better, and he needs to mature. This will be his chance to step up. He has a player option for only $2.5 million. There's been reports either way that he might pick up that $2.5 million or seek more money elsewhere. It's a very small sample size. I mean, he had a rough go in with the Clippers before being traded. So I don't think in terms of his market value, he's not going to get a massive raise if he goes out on the open market. And for what it's worth, all reports from Kevin Porter Jr.'s camp is that he loved it in Milwaukee, bought into the culture right away, and really enjoyed being there. If we can get Kevin Porter Jr. on a $2.5 million player option, then that would be awesome. We also are eligible for the mid-level exception, which frees up about $14 million to play with. That could be used if we do have to give Kevin Porter a raise to keep him on the team. We're also going to be looking at that to sign back Gary Trent Jr. We have to sign back Gary Trent Jr. in order to be competitive. Giannis is going to have the ball in his hands even more now with Damian on the shelf, and we know about the gravity that Giannis brings to him. And we need three-point shooters. Gary Trent Jr., the best shooter in the NBA, percentage-wise from three last year, and the Bucks were the best team shooting from three. The offensive game plan is not going to change in Milwaukee as long as you have Giannis. You have to surround him with shooters. He draws the most gravity in the NBA, and he is going to kick the ball, and guys need to be able to make shots. Offensively, we need Gary Trent Jr., and we need Kevin Porter Jr. to step up. So where does this go for Jon Horst? It's interesting because he has kind of more room to play with here than he ever has before. There's still limitations on what he can do overall, but Horst will have the chance to get more creative this season and try different things to fill out the roster, even though Lillard's injury has been pretty disruptive to team building. So we're used to Milwaukee being well over the salary cap, into the first and second apron, and having basically no wiggle room. With going into this offseason with Brook Lopez's massive contract leaving us, there is some money to play with here, about $55 million. I mean, we're very top heavy. We're paying Giannis, Dame, Kuzma, and Tyler Smith. That's our 4 guaranteed contracts on the roster. We're paying those guys $135 million combined, but there's still $55 million here to play with. He can sign back the key guys we need, like Kevin Porter Jr. and like Gary Trent Jr. There's still things that can be done and free agents that can be signed. Now, I think what the Bucks need to focus on to be successful is perimeter defense. They struggled at the point of attack all year, and they need a quality perimeter defender. This is where a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith right here comes into play. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent going into this offseason, and is a guy that can fit into the Bucks payroll with the wiggle room that they have and the guys that they need to pay. Dorian Finney-Smith is an elite perimeter defender and still a young asset to any team in the NBA. He is a dog on defense, and I think he should be one of Jon Horst's first target to shore up the defense for Milwaukee. I think the offense will be fine if we bring back our shooters. We bring back AJ Green and Gary Trent Jr., and Pat Connaughton will likely pick up his player option. I mean, we have an offense that works, especially when the ball is in Giannis's hands more than anybody else. We need to fix the defense. The defense was not good this year. Another guy that needs to get re-signed is Jericho Sims. If we're going to put Bobby Portis at a starting center, then Jericho Sims is kind of the polar opposite, and we need him as a rim protector. Another guy I think Jon Horst needs to go out and get, because obviously we're going to need a backup point guard now, is Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones, another unrestricted free agent, very underrated player in this league, kind of a career backup, but always serviceable, takes care of the ball, makes the right plays. We need some guard depth if Damian's going to be out. And behind, if we're going to start Kevin Porter Jr., then we need a reliable backup point guard. I think Tyus Jones can fit into the makeup of the Milwaukee Bucks and fit into our plans financially. So I want to know what you guys think. As always, I know we're reporting on, is Giannis leaving? Is he not going to leave every day? I know it gets frustrating, but of course, as a true blue Milwaukee Bucks fan, I don't want to see Giannis leave this team. And to get the news that the Milwaukee Bucks are not going to trade him without an official request is a beautiful thing. And now we just look forward to how do we build a team around Giannis that works. John Horst has more money to play with than normal, but he has a lot of guys unrestricted and need to be re-signed. There's a lot of pieces at play here and a lot of ways that this can go. I would love to hear your guys' suggestions for who you think the Bucks should go out and maybe target on the open market. I also want to know who you think we should bring back and not bring back. You know, we have Brook Lopez unrestricted. We have Taurean Prince. We have Gary Trent Jr. There's so many guys, and I want to know if your opinions differ from mine when it comes to who the Bucks should have on the roster going into the 25-26 season. So leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be back on Bucks Digest. Let's go.